Some of these bills before the Senate, uh, one bill is trying to take away any local control, actually wipe out the health ordinance already passed. You take away local control, that's more or less what this country originally started a revolution for. That's taxation without representation. We have the right here to say how we want to live our life within the laws. And we have the right to make laws to protect our right to do that. We can't give up that and say up there at Jefferson City they know what's good for Darvin Bentledge down here in Golden City, Missouri. They ain't living my life. They're not here in the center of them. Like I said, the only way they can truly understand is put one right there in front of the Capitol building. But as long as they do that, they can't take away our basic rights to govern ourselves. Unless they want to come down here and live with us, you know, and everything. But that's just part of it. You take away local control, you're giving them full bore, wide open. They can do anything they want. The heck with your rights. We don't care about your happiness. We don't care if your grandson's got asthma. We're going to put it there. We don't care if it's polluting your pond. We're going to put it there. We don't care if the antibiotics that we feed our hogs are going to bother your purebred, all-natural beef operation. We've got the right to put it there. We don't care about your rights. That's the attitude they've got. And the only way you can change it, or at least rein it in a little bit, is by local control. It's already shown that you can stop them a little bit, or at least rein them in. I'm not saying that all CAFOs are bad, but there's a place for them. And sure, the first thing that you do in the country, and the biggest thing if you grow up in the country, the first thing you're taught is to respect your neighbor. Be a good steward of the land, respect your neighbor, and lots of things will go right for you. You'll at least live a peaceful life, you know. Your land's taking care of you and you're taking care of it. You've got somebody to stop and talk to, shake a hand with. These CAFO guys don't shake your hands. You know, they hardly even talk to you. If they do, they're telling you how good they're making your life, you know, while they go to town, get in their nice house, and spread manure right next to your house and stink up your house where you can't have a barbecue or do what you normally do. They dictate your life.
I think one thing that policymakers really need to understand is that any system of agricultural production that cannot survive without infringing upon the property rights of the majority will not likely be the future of agriculture for our state. And policymakers really need to put serious energy into making sure that they are protecting the property rights of the majority rather than the property rights of a very small minority of corporate livestock operators.
Like I said, we've had a lot of problems in our county, just like every county does. Different things every year you think, well, we get past this, you know, and then it's going to be smooth sailing, but there's always something next year. But this tops everything, you know, is the problem it causes with the neighbors and the hard feelings, and I don't think there's anything as bad as whenever neighbors don't get along, you know. And if I guess the bottom line, you know, I could stick my head in the sand and be like some of our legislators and say, well, it's over in another district, and, you know, it's not going to bother me, so why worry about it, you know. But if it's not good enough to put in front of my house, you know, how can I, you know, honestly promote putting in front of somebody else's house? I just can't see that, you know. And so they keep telling us, well, we got all these cures, you know, we're going to plant. I mean, some of them, it's just insulting to a common person's intelligence. You're going to plant a row of trees around them. I'm 16 miles from them. How many thousand acres of brush you suppose there is between here and Sullivan County? And they think one more row of trees is going to make any difference? I've heard someone say, well, we're going to put fans on them, we're going to blow it up in the air, and then it'll go over Joe Blow's house, you know. well, it's just going to come down on somebody else's house somewhere else. I mean, that's just ludicrous. And I mean, that's the kind of stuff that even we've had things like that by the University of Missouri proposing to do things like that. Going to feed them certain kind of feed and the manure don't stink. Why do they think we've lived up here on the farm all of our life, you know? And that's why I think this thing has to be dealt with on the local level, because, you know, I guess they just think we fell off turnip truck up here and don't know any better, you know. But the people that live here know better than that. They're not going to buy that, and they're going to make decisions that's the best for their community, and their decisions are not going to be contaminated by lobbyists and campaign contributions from big corporations like some of them in Jeff City. I think that's the main thing why it has to be left on the local level.